Yo, this is Hopsin with hardknocktv. Make sure you tune into this shit because we talking about some real heavy fucking shit that's going on in my life right now, and I hope you guys can relate to it.
This is my attempt at me raising you from a distance. You have Hopsin in your blood. You are special and you are gifted. The punishment your mother is giving me doesn't seem fair. Just know I love you, son, and I'm wishing that I could be there.
People want to feel like there's people out there who can relate to them and feel the way that they're feeling, so they don't feel alone and they don't feel like they're crazy. And so these things that I say in my songs, I'm saying it because I know there's other guys out there who are in the same situations that I'm in, where they're like, yo, I can't see my kid. My ex-girlfriend did some stupid shit to me. My ex-girlfriend put me behind bars, this and that. And I felt the same way. Thank you for expressing that, because you really helped me. And people tell me that at shows, like, yo, your music has helped me, it's healed me. Mm-hmm. And I want to continue to do that to people, just like music has done for me in my past. And I don't want to cover it up, be like, yeah, I just got screwed over by my ex, but you know what? Life's great, and I'm just going to clap it off and go outside and just look at the sunshine and pretend it didn't happen. Like, nah, the shit happened. This is how I feel, because regardless if we create this like perception of life's great and there's no darkness happening in my life, it's still happening. So I can put that out on Instagram like, hey, look how cool things are, look how awesome things are, but I'm in here crying and feeling like a monster and going through this emotional roller coaster, and there's millions of people in the world who are feeling that same way. I don't hold back. I am a genuine person. I'm a genuine artist. I don't sugarcoat the things in my life, and that's what makes me me, you know?
A nigga just don't fit in, no one close to kin. I write about it so much I done broke my pen, and I'm sick of pretending my life is so dandy and flawless. I'm stuck on the road to hell fighting demons, but I let them drag me across it, while everybody happily applauds it.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep, yeah.
I know that was one of the ones that stood out to me. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, I do still feel that way. It is kind of current, because I wasn't expressing my views from me necessarily being in high school and then just me reflecting on it. I was expressing just my life story of what has me in this place that I'm in right now, because, you know.
And you feel a black sheep from the hip hop community, or just people in general, or what specifically do you feel?
Everything. I feel like, I don't know. I've always felt like I wasn't normal, and you know, some people are like, who wants to be normal? Normal's so boring. Like, and I don't, like, people always say that shit, but I still don't even know. Like, when I see certain people, they have these lives where it's just like, man, you have all these friends, you have so many people at your house, you're always going out, you live in this life, you're doing this thing, you're doing this, and your mind is in this healthy place that allows you to do all these things. And I've never been there. Like, like when I was a kid, I would sit in, like, even in elementary school, I would sit in my classroom and I would look at everybody else, and and at lunchtime, recess, whatever, I would see them all hanging out, and I would look at them from a distance and be like, man, they all are just so like together like that. Why don't I feel that with anybody? I feel like I have no group or a pack of people. And I was like, it'll probably come when I'm like 21, I'll have my whole life situated and everything. And then, you know, I went into middle school, and the same thing happened again, where I'm like, man, look at these, they're all sitting around eating their sandwiches and sharing food and all this shit. I don't even have lunches like that, and how come I'm not? And I feel like I'm not. I was just by myself all the time. I was just that skateboarder walking around by myself, and at that time, you know, in middle school, when I started skateboarding, there weren't many black skateboarders, so that was also a reason for people to pick on me, right. Because, you know, I forcefully wore Vans because I thought it was this cool skater thing to do. I dyed my hair blonde, and people started picking on me. They started bullying me, and I was a target, and I didn't understand. I can kind of understand why, like, from the blonde hair and all that, but even before that, you know, I've just always been bullied, and people just looked at me as a target. And
you still feel like you're a target?
Yeah, not in that same way. I wish somebody would try to pick on me now. That's a different. Yeah, I'm a grown man now. That just doesn't fly. Period. But I still do feel the target thing, where people are just like, that guy, look at him, whatever it is, look at that guy, whatever.
Just like people walking down the street.
It could be me thinking too much, because I say that in the song. Maybe I'm thinking too much. Yeah. Am I caught in my feelings? It really feels that way. Sometimes where I'm just in an environment where I'm like, no one knows who I am, but I still feel like they're looking at me, but not for reasons of like, oh, he's awesome. Like, it really, like, my thoughts eat me where I'm like, man, I don't want to be outside right now because I feel like they're talking about me, and I don't like that. I feel like they're pointing out something negative amongst each other about me. And even when I became an adult, the clicking with society has never been there. Mm-hmm. And I didn't plan to be this guy who's like out of the matrix and just so like isolated. I didn't want to be that way, but it just turned out to be that way. And you know, there are some cool things about it, but then there's also a lot of bad things about it. And I'm just trying to figure out how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? It's just strange, and it lets me know that, man, life is not a thing that's going to pave itself, because everyone always tells you, oh, it'll be okay in the end. Oh, it'll be okay. Oh, you'll find this, you'll do that. It's all going to come to you. That's not how life works. And I'm starting to realize life is like a road that you have to build. And there is a road for the people who don't build life, which is misery. But it is definitely something that you have to build. If you don't build it, it's not going to come, period. Now, there are people who are lucky in some situations, I believe, but most of us, like, if we don't build it, it's not going to come. And I didn't build that social side of me, like, ever. Mm-hmm. And I'm now realizing, like, damn, I did not put time into that. That's why I don't have it. I never put time into it. I never made it a priority to go, let me go try to talk to these people. Let me go try to fit in with these people. Let me try to do whatever I can to just have a bigger life. And I never did that until this day. I'm 32 years old and I still don't have that. And I live in this house. I live in this nice neighborhood by myself. And I have all these cool things by myself. And
I know it's a conversation I've had with Logic before. Earlier on in his career, he would go to music festivals and he would kind of keep to himself and not say hi to anyone, because he would think that maybe he tried once and whoever he talked to was not checking for him or was disrespectful. So then he just thought, well, everyone must be like that. Mm-hmm. So then he was just like, well, he wouldn't, he'd just kind of keep to himself. And then from outside perspective, looking at him, people are like, oh, he must be an asshole because he's not saying hi. So it's kind of like a two-way street where it's like, you don't necessarily feel like people will accept you. So then you kind of close yourself off. And then when people look at you, they kind of see you close off. So they're like, oh, he doesn't necessarily fuck with me. Or so it's kind of.
It turns into a chain reaction of just 100%. The events happening like that. And and that's kind of what it is. And on top of that, I feel like I'm not appreciated in a lot of areas in my life, where there's this thing that always exists no matter what. And I think it may be a flaw in my personality. There's this vibe that tends to float around in an environment that I'm in, where people will see me initially and they'll be like, oh, he's cool, for whatever reason, whether it be music or just in my personal life, whatever it is. But then there's this energy that goes around, and I don't know if I put it off, where people start feeling like they can overstep, speak about me in a certain way as if it's okay, and downplay who I am, what I am, or like my feelings on whatever it is, and they want to take advantage of something. And I'm a very kind person. People who I'm cool with, I'm very kind and humble. And I don't mean to bring this up, but it also happened a lot with Damian Ritter when we were on Funk Volume. It's this thing. He's one of the people who had it, but lots of people in high school, they had it as well, where they come around me and they don't take me serious enough. Where it's like, you do great things, and they go, psst. And it's like whatever, and I don't understand, because in my mind I go, if I saw somebody doing what I do, there's no way I would talk to them this way. There's no way I would not see what they are. I would totally get it. But I feel like people don't. Like, they don't get things with me, or maybe I don't know. One of my really close friends, his name's Passionate MC, he's from the East Coast. He always tells me, like, be careful of my judgment on who I let in my circle, because I've let a lot of the wrong people in who have the wrong motives. It even happens with working, like in the music industry. The people that I work with, that I hire, whether it's assistants or people who go on tour with me. They get the same energy. And I'm the type of person where I don't ever like to bang on people like, hey homie, this is what it is, this is what you gonna do, this is how we working over here, Undercover Prodigy, and if you don't listen, you get the fuck up out of here. But I'm now understanding, like, when you're moving into a space in your life where you have like treasures or valuable things or a career or things that people want, and you just built something that took a lot of time and you put blood, sweat, and tears into it. There are people out there who are like, I want to take advantage of that. And that's their sole purpose, to just be like, I want to jump into something. I don't want to work for it. I want to work maybe 2 days and then just get in, because I'm not trying to do the whole 10 years, 10,000 hour shit. And they don't want to do that. And they come in and they just start slacking off, doing whatever. They start acting like they're Hopsin. They start talking to people a certain way, talking to me a certain way, feeling like they're, and it makes me go, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, me and Jamie, we've had so many people work with us where we have these conversations like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Mm-hmm. What is wrong with people? Like, sometimes they're just people, we just gotta look at them like, what is wrong with you? Do you think this is how life is? And it pisses me off, but I'm in a different place now. So, I'm learning how to address situations, and I'm now learning, when you're a boss of something, when you own shit, you gotta let people know, like, you gotta turn on your Tony Montana, like, yo, you come in this house, this is what it is. And if you ain't down with it, you get the fuck out. And that's just how the rules go. We can be cool if you're down with the rules, but that's just how shit is. But I think in the past, I wasn't always like that, and people took advantage. But not just in music, just in life in general.